This is Mackenzie Shirilla. She is a 17-year-old who found guilty of murder for causing a crash that killed her boyfriend and his friend.
Mackenzie decided death was the ultimate goal that day. This was not reckless driving. This was murder.
Shirilla's boyfriend Dominic Russell and his friend Devon Flanagan were in the car when she crashed into the side of a commercial building outside of Cleveland, going 100 miles per hour. Both men were pronounced dead at the scene, and Shirilla survived. Prosecutors argued that the teen had a toxic relationship and Shirilla had made a violent threat against her boyfriend.
She tried to break into his house?
Correct.
Reportedly crashed her car on purpose because she wanted to kill her boyfriend and that his friend was just riding with him. The prosecutor said the intent was obvious upon seeing that video, that there was only one goal.
You see her driving very calmly and making the right turn, and then all evidence indicates she immediately put the pedal to the metal and drove straight into a building at 100 miles per hour. I think those really demonstrated to us that this was no accident.
And a few days before the crash, she allegedly took the same road to plot the crime. This is where the judge now finds her guilty.
Count 1. Finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of murder, to wit Dominic Russo.
Now she stands up to be placed in handcuffs as she continues to tear up.
Count 2. Finds the defendant, Mackenzie Shirilla, guilty of murder, to wit Devon Flanagan.
Shirilla now has a moment to speak before her sentencing.
Family of Dom and Davia, I'm so deeply sorry. I hope one day you can see I would never let this happen or do it on purpose. I wish I could remember what happened. I'm just so sorry. I'm heartbroken.
There was no medical condition that caused this as an accident. There was no mechanical failure of the car. A failed suicide attempt is not a defense to murder. There's a very good likelihood, Mackenzie, that you will spend the rest of your life in prison. She's sentenced on count 1, 15 years to life. Count 2, 15 years to life, to be served concurrent to each other.
The judge just sentenced her to 15 years to life in prison. This is Willard Miller and Jeremy Goodale. At just 16 years old, they are both charged for the murder of their high school Spanish teacher. Reportedly, it was over a bad grade.
We then moved her off of the trail, where I then struck her, and she died as a result.
Miller and Goodale went to Fairfield High School in Iowa. Norma Greber was the Spanish teacher at the school, and Miller was one of her students. After he received a bad grade from Greber, he and his friend Goodale planned to kill her.
We discussed a general plan, and I'll stand up here and look out, wait for Miss Greber to show up.
Greber went her usual walk at Shadow Walk City Park. The boys knew that as they stalked her, and they waited to ambush her.
Comes, and she walked by and hit her in the back of the head, and then I said, we should make sure she's dead, so we hit her a couple more times.
They then dragged her into the woods and beat her to death with a baseball bat.
What was the plan after that? There wasn't really a plan beyond that.
Like hide the body, bury the body, stage the body?
At that time, we were going to hide the body. I guess in our arrogance, we kind of assumed that nobody would ever find her.
Not long after, both boys were arrested. Court documents alleged that the witness who knew Goodale showed law enforcement Snapchat messages that showed Goodale and Miller's involvement in the murder. One of the Snapchat message saying, "Point of view, you are my Spanish teacher, and this is the last thing you see," followed by "time to hide a body." Jeremy Goodale would later plead guilty and testify against his best friend Miller.
That he had the intent to kill Mrs. Graber.
What is your plea to murder in the first degree, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
This is the moment that Goodale gets to speak before his sentence.
I had time to think on what to say, and I'm sorry, truly sorry. Every day I wish I could go back and stop myself. I can't comprehend losing a loved one in such an awful way.
And now the judge hands down his sentence.
Defendants shall be sentenced to life with the possibility of parole after 25 years.
Now for Miller, this is him apologizing before he receives a sentence.
I'd like to take this opportunity to wholeheartedly accept responsibility for the role that I've played in the murder of Jeremy Goodale. To the family, I'm sincerely sorry for the distress that I've caused you and the devastation. And I ask that I'm given a chance, and I don't want to be institutionalized. I don't want to be in so long that I forget about what matters, where I come from, and I look forward to getting through this.
Now the judge has some final last words.
The defendant, Willard Noble Chayton Miller, should be sentenced to life with the possibility of parole.
Miller seems to be completely unfazed.